Okay, we'll be discussing about chapter 5, issues between organizations and individuals. So what are the issues kaya between the um, organization and the individual, given that we already know what are their attitudes of those employees that we have in the organization. So this is the lesson roadmap for chapter 5. So the objectives, the rights of privacy, discipline, job scope, the motivating potential of jobs, and limitations of job enrichment and QWL program. So medyo taas-taas po lang itong topic na i-discuss for this lecture. So let's continue. So at the end of the term, the student should be able to understand the model of legitimacy of an organizational influence, know the business activities that may involve employee rights, discuss the policy guidelines relating to privacy, and discuss about discipline itself. We need to understand the quality of work life, job enrichment, and its benefits. So that is the objective for this chapter. So more on the influences, the activities that you need to know when it comes to involving the rights of the employees, the guidelines with respect to their privacy, how to discipline them, how to achieve QWL and job enrichment. So next would be the rights of privacy. So what are the rights of privacy in an organization? So we have this model of legitimacy of organizational influence on employees. So we have x-axis here. So this is the horizontal line, x-axis, job related and not job related. So how close is the relatedness of their job to their work, and whether it is off the job and on the job on the y-axis. So let's look at this table. So as you can see here, when it is job related but off the job na work, there is moderate legitimacy. Wala kay dili kay ka um dili kay kuan sila ga-handle. Gamay ra kay mo influence sila. Moderate lang yung influence given nga wala man sa trabaho. Say for example, naka-i-ask of um i-ask ila regarding the work but it's already beyond 5 p.m. So what you will do is probably moderate lang nga influence ila. While if it's on the job and job related, it is high legitimacy in which imuhang influence ve- uh, has a very big impact on them given na nasa sa trabaho at the same time ang impong task or sugo is job related. Next would be low legitimacy if it is off the job and not job related. So wala sa trabaho at the same time dili po siya job related imuhang sugo. So dili kay siya influential sa empleyado. And on the job and not job related is moderately legitimate kay sometimes basin di ay napaday kay ah basin di personal day mong giasa iya while at work. So probably dili pud kayo dako imong influence sa ani nga person sa imong empleyado. So that is the table that shows the model of legitimacy in the organization. So we have rights of privacy. So rights of privacy is the freedom from organization, invasion of a person's life, and unauthorized release of confidential information about a person. So that is its rights of privacy. We all have our own rights to freedom, rights to privacy. And you already know nga, your rights of privacy is being kana bitang being gakatandog siya or gakaigo siya when it comes to people kana bitang unauthorized or dili sila magsaba nga naslay ko ang sa mga information or they tend to invade in your life mangutana sila sa imo more on personal problems nga dili unta nimo gusto i-disclose. So, unauthorized release of confidential information about you as a person. You have the right to um, keep your information nga i-disclose nimo siya, dili nimo siya pakita sa public itself. So, uh, yeah, your rights to privacy, again, you have your own private life compared to the life nga imuhang i-officially display in the public. So we have business activities that may involve employee rights of privacy. So these business activities kay gaka igo ang imuhang always sa imong rights to privacy even as now daghan man tag activities nga kailangan ang ato ang information which is karon mas stricto dili kita magpataka og hatag um og kanang information with regards to our address, with regards to our background. So we have lie detectors. Lie detectors need manggod ka mag-say og truth. Let's say for example, i-ask ka personal questions but wala kay mahimo kundi kay mo ingon sa imong um personal information. Personality test. Personality test, okay, gina-ask po ang imong personal nga mga feelings, intuition, imong thoughts. Kay gina-test man ang imong psychological state, imong inner state nimo as a person. So, dapat pud ka ana sa imong information nga gina-relate here. Medical examinations, again, you need to disclose your more intimate and private life in which na di kay mga, let's say, existing na mga sakit or naa kay mga lain nga ginapambati. So, based on history too. So, dapat kay mo isaba nga ikapilan na kagi gi-admit unya unsa pa gyud imong ginapang-take nga mga medication. Treatment of alcoholism. So let's say for example, para inom gyud kay ka, so what will you do? You need to disclose some personal information too, such as the reason nganong nahimo kag alcoholism ay nahimo kag alcoholic. Um, you need to disclose you need to disclose other important information na makapakontot sa imo kay sometimes man good when it comes to treatment ang makatambol na pod ani kay nara pod imong mga answers so sa imuha itself wala ra gyud nimo na-realize so that's why um we or those people tend to pry in your private life to ask for um some very important nga personal information. Monitoring of employee lifestyle. So, most of our kuan manggod, most of our employees, gina-check ko yung lifestyle. What if over excessive na kay kaon, tingala sila kay nagtingin na ka og ano pasubraan ka og laag, di ka og laag, gamay ra man imong sweldo. Lagi na sila yung murag mga doubts po. Dili man sa tungod kay you are very suspicious, but ila ra pong i-review. Nga hala, nganong kuan, sige na lagi ni siya og abroad. Right? Every weekend na siya sa gawas naso. Nga gamay ra man mig sweldo. Pag-check din nimo ana di siya lain nga trabaho, di ba? Pag-check din sa private life, ay din ka realize nga hala na di siya lain nga trabaho which is dili di pwede sa imong company dapat kay full time sa imong company. Something like that. So you tend to monitor their lifestyle too. So that is based on okay, that is based on their current bitaw nga mga ginapanghimo. So next would be treatment of drug abuse. It goes the same with alcoholism. When it comes to treatment of drug abuse, you need to know the history, mga personal po nga reasons, how to uh, make that person feel better, how to feel better, and yeah, so on and so forth. Again, narigid na sila ang kuan answers most of the time. Okay, so that's treatment of drug abuse. Next is surveillance devices. So this could be CCTVs in which, again, makita nila tanan ang imong actions or ginahimo. Okay? So another thing to consider, I guess the moment nga you entered in this organization, kabalo na mo anak nga some of your information would need to be disclosed in the company, such as this one. They need to monitor your activities in the establishment, in the organization. So surveillance devices like CCTV. Next would be computer data bank. This is where katong imong resume, ang imong background, other information, relevant data kay gina-store. So diha na makita kay unsa na imong progress o sa current nimo nga status. Especially like let's say for example sa imong mga licenses. Licenses tends to expire. So with the computer data bank diha nimo makita ang mga kuan. With the computer data bank diha nimo makita ang mga ano, information, marami tawag ah, information with regards to your personal nga mga information. Marag data bank mo siya og what you call that one mo siya drive in which the total naka-store ang inyong mga information. Na anytime pwede ra siya makuha og ma-retrieve. Next would be confidential records. So this could be your records such as crime records nga dili kailangan i-disclose sa public. Okay? Kaya more on personal bang po din siya ang mga records. Na 10th would be genetic screening. Your genes should be screened. Let's say for example, based sa imong bloodline, na di mo ka ng hereditary nga sakit or something like that. Dapat pod ma-inform si establishment with regards to that para makabalo sila unsa ang ilang i-expect sa imuha, especially sa imuhang kuan murag existing nga sakit. So example ra na siya. 11 would be inquiry into personal relationship. So some again mangutana gyapon na si company sa imuha kung na ba kay uyab, magminyo ba ka or something because needed magud ang information, especially when it comes to paying taxes, when it comes to reporting your status as an employee. You need man pud ta maghimong report with that one employee file sa dili lang sa for the business sake but for the government. Kinakantay ginang-follow nga rules and regulations nga need ta mag-report always on sa current status sa mga empleyado, especially DOLE. Okay, so that is just some of the business activities that may involve employee rights of privacy. So, more ni siyang uban daghan pa gyud. So, as you can see here in CMU2, naman fill upan nga mga forms with regards to those information na needed such as need ka enroll sa CMU, maghatag ka og imong resume, imong mga forms, imong mga grades sa imong previous na school so that ilang ma-assess if pwede ba ka diri nga school or something like that. So we also have policy guidelines relating to privacy. So we have relevance, recency, notice, fiduciary duty, confidentiality, due process, protection of the psyche. So for policy guidelines relating to privacy, we have the first one, relevance. So only necessary useful information should be recorded and retained. Only those information nga kailangan sa inyong business. Let's say for example, sa imong resume and imong iput kay katong related ra pod sa imong gi-applyan. Okay, if possible. Or kana bitang legit siya or relevant siya nga mga data like yung mga certificates for training and so on and so forth. Recency would be obsolete information should be removed periodically. So 10 years man ata ang murag pinakakuan maximum. So after 10 years dili na nimo siya i-record. Sometimes gani after 5 years lang dapat murag 5 years time siguro kay mao ra nang pwede nimo na input sa imong personal nga information. So the more recent it is, the more kuan siya, the more appealing or um the more applicable yun siya. So if possible, only put recent put documents dili itong after 10 years na nga time. Third would be notice. There should be no personal data system that is unknown to an employee. So you should always notice your employer with regards to your changes, especially in your personal data sa system itself. So you should notify them. Let's say for example, misis na di ko karon o bago pa ko gikasal o di ba? Na-shock na lang si employer. Ha? Bago pa di ko gikasal, na di ko uyak ko, di ba? Or something like that. Na-shock yun siya. So, you need to notify them with regards to sudden changes, especially in your personal data. Fiduciary duty, the keeper of the information is responsible for its security. So the person who must keep these information should keep it in secret. So that is that person's fiduciary duty. Mostly kay kani sila kay mga HR, sila magid ka collect ana sa information. So sila ra pud ang kuan gyud dapat kana bitang mag-maintain sa ilang confidentiality. So example sa fiduciary duty kay katong akong gihimo. I know the sweldo, di ba? Kabalo ko sa sweldo sa tanan. But bisag unsa mi ka close, never gyud nako i-disclose ang ilahang mga sweldo. Katong napa ko dadto. Karon kay wala naman, pwede naman siya. Di ba hindi na changes, dili na din ni mao akong gipang-ingon, o di ba? But still wala man pud koy para unsa ra pod nga nang need mo na kay disclose. Di man gyud na ako gina-disclose unless lagi mangutana. Wala man pod, I mean para hapon nganong mag-ask. So, mangutana sila kinsay pinakadako, kinsay pinakagamay. Mo na ko nga, oh, kato si kuan, kuan na ra ko. So, yeah, di na ko gadolge into details too kay akong memory lagi kay murag kuan ra 500 gig. Di imagine daghan pud ha almost 100 ka to ka employee need ba na ako ma-memorize all numbers. So yeah, that's it. Fiduciary duty. Next would be confidentiality. Information should be released only to those who have a need to know and released outside the organization. Normally should occur only with the employee's permission. So if possible, ay hara ka mag um, agree. Okay, mag-release of information once you agree. So pantay man mo mo sino nga sa forms natin confidential confidentiality nga mga kuan nga murag mga ipang-click kay click this one if you agree to the terms and conditions or something like that in which under dagto natay kuan mura bitaw sector or an area in that paper nga nakaingon nga mag-disclose og information okay ra pa sa imo nga mag-disclose og information something like so that is confidentiality. Again, if possible, you need to ask for your employees' permission when it comes to using their data. Due process, the employee should be able to examine records and challenge them if they appear incorrect. The due process, again, kabantay mo anang ibalik sa inyo ha, mampalihog kog check if sakto ba. That is the due process. Ipakita ang imong records, if sakto ba, correct ba yung spelling, especially sa birth certificate, gaan man kanilang time. Let's say, for example, once kayo ma-receive nimong documents, always good pasaha. Like, hala, wrong spelling, day ko ma'am. Especially when it comes to IDs, mga certificates, and so on and so forth. Nga, legal, okay? Next would be protection of the psyche. So the employee's inner self should not be invaded or exposed except with prior consent and for compelling reasons. So your inner self, we have what we call the psyche, should not be invaded. So dapat kay dili na siya gina pry into ang kana yun nga privacy. So pardon me if na ako mga background nga noise. So if possible, one you can always mag-inform, mag-ask for permission when it comes to asking those. Because we tend to ask the psych or employee's inner self when it comes to treatment, like katong drug abuse o katong alcoholism. So I guess that's it. I will end my lecture here. So look out for part 2 of my lecture. That's it for today. Thank you and goodbye.